Hello and welcome to Game Over Here, the video game podcast created by gamers for gamers, with your host Leon.
Dave, hello.
And the stag beetle himself.
It's been a while.
It's a majestic intro. Loved it.
Yeah. Well, it's good to be back. Because it's been a month.
Good.
You've moved, Mike, and we were waiting for them interwebs.
I haven't moved. I've been sitting here for an entire month waiting for the internet to come back up.
It's when you move, you don't realise how many little things you need. Adapter plugs. Fucking. I swear I had enough in my old place, and I didn't have enough when I got here. TV stand. Didn't even think about it. Silly shit.
Yeah, I know what you
Ice
mean.
cube trays. I still don't have ice cube trays. My life is over.
You know what? In all fairness, I don't have ice cube trays here. Actually, never even thought about it.
Buy fucking massive bags of ice because I like ice in my drink. But it makes no sense. I should just have there's nothing in my freezer. There's about 4 fucking things. I should have just 20 ice cube trays at all time and just a shelf of ice.
I have a shelf of ice in my freezer, but no ice cube trays. We just have so it basically looks like there's more ice in my freezer than there is in Antarctica at the moment.
It just needs to be defrosted. Is that the problem?
Yeah, it really is. I've got some polar bears living on it.
Washing machine, it's loud.
Oh right, so it's you've got a washing machine in the background right
Washing machine and tumble dryer combo.
Oh.
And
Do you have them in your kitchen?
don't do it. It takes about 17 hours to do 1 load of washing.
Yeah. You have to have them separate.
Zero, it's fucking ridiculous.
So are you one of these people that are quite happy to stick them in your kitchen, or do you have to have them in a separate room because it's dirty to have a washing machine in the same place that you prepare food?
Well, I didn't create the place, so it was already there, and it's all plugged in. So I could move it into my bedroom, I guess.
No, there's this Irish thing that apparently you have to have it in a separate room because it's just weird to have it in the kitchen, and then some people have it in their bathroom as well, which is just bizarre. It's like I'm going to wash my clothes and myself at the same time.
I don't know. Well, maybe the humidity kind of wise. Your bath. Yeah, usually got that kind of stuff going on there. So I can kind of see maybe why it's in there, but I don't know. Still very odd. But I think we should move off the I don't know, the household appliance podcast.
White appliance.
Yeah. We need to move into the video games now. It's been probably about a month since we've kind of come together, so I'm sure a lot have been going on gaming wise. I know for myself, what I'm going to be talking about this week is a very small portion of what I have been doing video gaming wise. But let's go in with Dave first, man. What's been cracking, doll?
Yeah, I've been still playing Final Fantasy XIII. I finished the main story now, so that's done.
Oh, nice, man.
I really enjoyed the story. But I've now entered the world of the grind. As all Final Fantasy fans know, there is a lot of grind in the games, and this one is of no exception. Basically, you have to kill the same 4 things over and over again, and there is a less than 1% chance that it drops a item which you use to upgrade your weapon to the ultimate weapon, and I think you need something like 6 per weapon, and there's 6 people. So that is a ridiculous amount of killing to do. Or you can end up purchasing them like 2 million each. And the only way to get money is off these same 4 enemies. Well, there's 5, but one is like so far away, it's not even worth going to bother with. And yeah, it's like a 10% drop that they drop the this item that you can sell for like 150,000. So you have to get ridiculous amounts of those. So yeah, so you basically have to spend 7 hours just killing these things over and over again just so you can get enough money to upgrade all the items. And then once you do that, you get an achievement, which is the main thing. And then I can go done and move on to the next one.
I mean, how did you find it again? Going through the game as such again. Like, I mean, did you enjoy the story? Going through it again.
Actually, the second time through, you kind of get a better understanding of how it all hangs together. I didn't realize until I did Final Fantasy XIII is the first in a series of games that they've new trilogy of storyline in the Final Fantasy universe. It's all about the gods and crystals, as opposed to the earlier Final Fantasies, which was the four heroes of light, and they're going around and getting their earth, fire, wind, water nonsense, which was sort of the main theme for the early ones. This one is more, humans and gods coexisting in a world, and the use of the crystals and how it influences on each other. And this was the first one of that story, which then obviously follows in Final Fantasy 13-2, and then Final Fantasy 13-3, and then obviously Final Fantasy 15 is the same universe as well. And then there's a whole bunch of other games.
15's not the same universe.
It's the same story. It's a different world, but it's the same. It's part of that series of 6. Apparently, I don't know exactly how the story works.
I had no idea about that whatsoever, and there was no inkling in the Final Fantasy 15 story that it was linked to it at all. So I don't know. I didn't know about that. I'm gonna have to look into that, Dave.
Yeah,
I had that question.
Same online version of the game. Sorry,
universes are big,
really big. But yeah, there's like an online one that was recently disbanded, and they're going to be bringing out a new one, Final Fantasy 0 or some nonsense like that. And
what's the one I keep seeing on YouTube, like a strategy-ish one?
Final Fantasy Tactics.
Might be. I just keep seeing a thing, and it's like got Final Fantasy characters, and I never actually pay attention to it. I just see the beginning of the ad.
There's like a new it's on the mobile kind of thing. Are you on about the mobile kind of Final Fantasy 15? Yeah, there's I can't remember. I downloaded it the other day and I quickly uninstalled it. But
it's really bad.
It's just one of those classic, free to play, builds, buy, give us your money. It's a cash grab, and a lot of people, I mean, if you look at the comments on it, for example, they are shitting on it well and truly, because there's better games that do that exact same thing. Square Enix have just sort of tried to get their slice of the market. And unfortunately, it hasn't really performed that well from what I can see. I'll look into it. Let me find it while you guys are talking about.
Yeah. So the story is called Fabula Nova Crystallis Final Fantasy. Is the official name for it? Yes, Fabula. It consists of 7 titles across multiple platforms, which starts with Final Fantasy 13, then it's Final Fantasy Type 0, Final Fantasy 13-2, Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13, then Final Fantasy Agito, Final Fantasy 15, and then Final Fantasy Type 0 Online.
There we go. It's called Final Fantasy 15 A New Empire. So that's the name of the mobile game. Very much, like all other games, like builder games, mobile, free to play.
Oh, that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's basically a game of war, just with a Final Fantasy sort of screen papered all over it. It's got nothing to do with Final Fantasy except for the name. It's exactly the same as Game of War, the same sort of building things. It's just that they may have used some of the characters that they look from Final Fantasy, and it's just a way of trying to drag Final Fantasy fans into the game. But yeah, it's nothing to do with the story or any sort of style of Final Fantasy. It's apparently really shit, and a lot of people are really angry about it. But yeah, it keeps cropping up every time I try and play Plants vs Zombies Heroes, and I have to watch adverts. 90% of them are Final Fantasy 15 mobile game. And it's like, fuck off.
Well, I mean, as we're on that Final Fantasy vibe at the moment, I'll just quickly dive in. Unless if there's anything more to talk about, Dave, on Final Fantasy 13. No, all right, cool.
No.
Will...
Once I've upgraded the items, I'll be glad to see the back of Final Fantasy 13, and I'll be moving on to the sequels. Oh yeah.
So you are actually going to move on to the sequels then? You're going to go for 13-2, and because I must admit, the Lightning Returns is the only one I haven't played of that trilogy. I did play 10-2, and I actually really did enjoy it. So, very quite different in some sense to the first one, but it's still very enjoyable game. So recommend that. But Lightning Returns, I never got around to buying it. So I'll be interested to hear on how your take of it when you finally get there.
Yeah, it'll be a few months, but absolutely.
Oh yeah, it's going to take a while. There's no doubt about that. But from another, well, let's go into the online universe of Final Fantasy now. Moving into Final Fantasy XIV Realm Reborn. They have just recently dropped last month the second expansion for the game, Stormblood. And I must admit, I've literally only just got to the Stormblood content because I still had a shitload of Heaven's Ward stuff to do, which was the first expansion for the Final Fantasy Realm Reborn. And I mean, I can't really go into the sort of story aspect of that kind of thing because I haven't really looked at it. And in all fairness, because when you get to dungeons and stuff like that, people generally get really pissed off when you're watching cutscenes, so you end up skipping them anyway. So I probably wouldn't even have a clue what was going on. In fact, I probably can't even tell you what happened in Heaven's Ward, even though I've gone through all of it.
Yeah, I've played games that have the cutscenes, and everyone's like, skip it, skip it. And I'm like, nope, I've never seen it before. I will watch it the once and piss everyone off the once.
Yeah.
And then once I've seen that cutscene, then I'll be happy to skip it.
The thing
But
is,
until
like,
I've seen it,
being the healer, it you know, like, people get really pissed off if you don't end up in that, you know, because the cutscenes usually end up being right before like the boss or something like that. And what will happen is that they'll all rush in. I'll get locked out because I'm watching the cutscene, and then they wonder why they all die. So I just sort of go, you know what, I'll just skip it, and I've said to myself, no, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it again. But I just haven't got around to doing it yet. I think I've literally
Secret World was really bad for that. It was really bad for like 5-minute cutscenes or 10-minute cutscenes right before a boss. So it was kind of like, I'm just going to watch this cutscene, and they're like, no, really, really don't, because we don't have time for that. You go watch it on YouTube or something, or enter the dungeon on your own by yourself and watch the cutscene, but don't bother watching it with people. And it's like, why would you do that as a developer? It's kind of like right before something really big and bring everyone together, you try and push everyone apart because you have to sit there and watch a bloody movie. It's like a bit.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Anyway, moving back into Final Fantasy. They've got 2 new classes which I've kind of just kind of started to have a look at. We've got the Red Mage class, which you'd kind of think is meant to be the kind of in between of Black and White Mage. You'd think you'd have good selection of Black Mage spells, good selection of White Mage spells, then maybe a bit of sword combat as well. They've gone for a really weird kind of way of doing it this time, though, because I remember back in Final Fantasy XI when I was playing Red Mage, it was that very much in-between caster. With this, they've really gone more, oh, right, no, this is going to be a ranged DPS, and there is, unfortunately, far too much like random number generator on it, like RNG, like mad, because what you're necessarily doing is you're having to kind of do like these sort of combos of spells, stuff like that, to be able to kind of make sure that you can kind of keep going as such, and you can kind of lose momentum really quickly. Now the only problem is though is that some of the actual spells in some sense, they can only randomly kind of be available, depending on kind of what you're doing. So you'll, I think it's like you cast like Joel, and then you'll go into like Ver Thunder or Ver Aero, and depending, if you're lucky enough when you do that, the Ver Thunder, since it's in the first place, you might be able to then get on to the next spell. If not, you have to start the whole sequence again to kind of make it sort of pop up. So yeah, Red Mage kind of, I mean, I'm still liking it, but like, too much RNG. Samurai is looking sort of a bit more interesting. Once again, it's another DPS job. So, for this expansion, they've brought in 2 DPS roles, where on the last one, they kind of did a combination of tank and healer. With the Samurai kind of thing, it's kind of once again, all very much kind of like combo based. There's kind of sort of 3 kind of combo things that you can kind of go into, but I've only kind of just started with Samurai, and I need sort of a bit more time with it to kind of let you know on what's kind of going on with that. But all in all, I'd say I'm slightly disappointed in the red mage because, like I said, I was kind of expecting it to be that more of in between of black and white, but it's kind of they've very much sort of gone, no, this is 100% a DPS thing.
Interesting, because the red mage from Final Fantasy, the very first one, was kind of like that. It was kind of like you get some very basic spells. You were never as good as a white mage or a black mage, but you could also use swords and stuff. And it was mainly just we're going to hit things very hard, but also I can fireball you at the same time.
Yeah, well, what it is that you kind of have to do that. You have to do the magic first. Yeah, I mean, well, what makes more sense?
Bruv.
Yeah, you do the magic first to be able to kind of build it up because you have to kind of get like white and black up to 80 at least, I'd say. It can kind of go up to 100. Yeah, I know, right?
Pure racism.
And then what you can then do is that you start doing some combos after that. So you'll be doing like attacking combos, but then you're necessarily going to be going back to that range position, doing the spells again. It's just rinsing and repeat that same kind of lot of combos again and again, which is I'm quite enjoying playing it, but it's still. I mean, I think later on, I'm hoping that it's going to get a bit better because I can kind of see that there is some healing spells later on that I don't have as of yet, like Ver Cure and I think it's like Ver Raise. So I'm looking forward to kind of getting to that and maybe sort of seeing what more I can kind of do with the roles. But at the sort of current stage in early levels, I mean, I say early levels, the base class for this starts at level 50. So which is good because it means that I don't have to fucking level all the way up to 50. And then, rather to 70.
Half the grind's already gone.
Yeah, exactly.
So is this a sort of class that's kind of like in World of Warcraft, like the Death Knight is just able to do everything, and so eventually you're just going to see one guy being a red mage and going in and sort of doing raids by himself because he can?
I wouldn't say so, and it's impossible to go and do a raid by yourself on this game. Because of the way the system works, it's like a duty system. So in other words, you kind of matchmaking anyway. There's no way to kind of go in singly. But yeah, I mean, all in all, I'm quite enjoying sort of playing it so far. I've recently sort of switched server as well because I thought some other people were going to be playing kind of thing, and ever since I've switched, they haven't played. So that's really helpful at that kind of level. Right, well, let's move into some other games. I have recently, because I've been playing Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, I saw your setup. That was nuts.
There they are. I've got a HOTAS set up now. And
that is so cool.
It's fucking awesome to play with this as well. So, I've got, with sort of this kind of section here, obviously that's my thrust as such. I can kind of control that there, which is awesome. It's got some like buttons on here as well. So in other words, I'll kind of use these for like my up and down thrusters. And then
amazing.
Over on the other side here, we've got sort of a few buttons here, another button there, and then there's sort of 2 buttons here as well. So I've kind of like I've mapped it as to what I want, kind of thing.
So it actually feels like you're flying a ship now.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, it does. All I'm missing now is VR, and then I'm going to be flying a spaceship, motherfucker.
We'll never see you again.
No, I'll just be there forever. And then obviously here's like the joystick kind of portion wise. It does sort of do the twisting kind of thing on there as well, so I can kind of use that.
I miss the days of using joysticks for games.
I know, right? So, and then you've got obviously nice trigger there. We've got like a sort of side trigger there, and then around here.
A Microsoft one. Remember back in the day, like 20
Flight
ago,
Simulator,
the really expensive fucking one. And I used it for maybe one game. And my dad was like, "Why did I buy you this shit?" I was like,
I think I have that.
Fucker, daddy. Spoiled.
I think I actually have that one as well. I have one of the thrusters and the flight sticks, and I used it for Wing Commander.
Yeah, which is fair enough. I'm literally only going to be playing Elite Dangerous with that, but that's fine. I'm absolutely fine with that. I've already, I put a ridiculous amount of hours in that game anyway, and I just kind of wanted to extend my experience a bit more, because, I mean, I've been playing with an Xbox 360 controller for quite a while. I mean, like, over 100 hours on that game playing with an Xbox 360 controller. I've played about 10, 15 hours with that, and, like, the first like couple of hours, it was really hard to get used to because obviously I'm still trying to learn the key bindings that I've set, to make sure that everything's ready. And I'm going, oh no, maybe I'll tweak that, I'll tweak this. I mean, like when I first got it, there's like a weird like bug with Steam because I've got Elite Dangerous through Steam where it doesn't recognize the HOTAS. It's called the Thrustmaster T-Flight HOTAS X.
Nice.
But it
Rolls
doesn't.
off the tongue.
Exactly.
Power.
It doesn't recognize it, so I had to actually launch the game without Steam, and then it was fine. Recognized it straight away, and then I did all the key bindings. Yeah, Steam fucked it up. Steam sorted shit out. But yeah, all in all, it's an absolute game changer. If you're playing Elite Dangerous or any other kind of flight sim, recommend it highly. And that one is ridiculously cheap as well. I mean, like, cause with some like HOTAS setups, you're looking, at a couple £100 kind of thing for the really fucking good ones. This is like, like bog standard, but it works, and it's like I'm really enjoying it. Cost me, I think it was like $39.99 or something like that. So really fucking cheap and totally worth it. Go and buy one now because I do not regret my decision.
And you're not sales for these people either, are you?
No, not at all. Not no promotion whatsoever. I bought it out of my own hard-earned cash. But yeah, man. But I will sort of go off my games for now, and let's go into the stag for a bit, man. What's been going on with you? I know you've been moving and stuff, so I'm not sure if you've had much of a chance. But what have you been playing, dude?
So I'll tell you a couple of bits about the gaming stuff that's going on. So I went back to my mum's house where I was before, and walked into my bedroom to find a VR setup in my room.
Interesting.
And I said, David, what the fuck are you doing? You had because he's now my sister's moved out there now, so he moved downstairs. He's taken her room, and then he had his VR in there. I was like, what the fuck are you using my room as a thing? He goes, it's not mine. Chris has got one too now. So there's 2 rooms next to each other with full VR setups in that house now, which is fucking bananas. But he bought there's that whatever deal that they've got going on at the moment, which is you get the Vive and a computer that will run it on and stuff for about £1,000. So
wow,
which isn't bad considering most of the setup and stuff costs half of that anyway. But no, so what have I been playing? So UFC has become my staple go-to, as we all know. So the other day I thought I'm going to see how many hours have I played this game for. Do we want to take a guess how many hours on UFC 2 I have?
400?
60.
1,300 hours.
Woo!
Now I'm sure there's quite a lot of those hours are just, my console was on, I'm not doing something, but that's a fucking ridiculous amount. So I've been playing a lot of that, and I've actually finally gone back to Ultimate Team mode where I have my own created characters, because I've got to the point where I now fight in ranked. I just am up against people that are just so good. Like I continually go up against the number 3 to 27 ranked people in the world, and they just are too good. I'm not on that level. I don't have enough time to learn the combos the way they know, and they know every intricacy. But no, I still have fun with it. I'm me. I get into my moods. I think I want a bit of that action. I want a bit of this action. Fucking Game of Thrones is back, so I'm like, Skyrim, motherfuckers, I'm on this shit. 2 hours in, I was like, Skyrim, motherfuckers, I'm off this shit. I don't into it at all. I don't know. I don't like it with better graphics. I don't think. I couldn't get into it at all. I just found it really slow, and I don't know if it's. I mean, it is an old game, but it just wasn't doing anything for me. So chucked a couple of hours into it. I got because this is. Remember when I bought it? I did a few hours. I got through all the basic bit at the beginning, and then I picked up from there. But I hadn't done anything intricate, so I kind of just skipped all the bullshit at the beginning. So I was like, okay, I can get stuck in. Let's do some fun bits. Went on some quests, did some stuff, and I just, nah. So I might spend. I've got a day off tomorrow. I might have a couple of hours again on it and see. Because I'm proper back in. My Game of Thrones is on, and I'm proper in. I want a fantasy game. I want like a fucking, something I can get into. I think it's probably that I just spent so many hours on that game before that I just know what's happening at the beginning. And like, even though I don't remember the storyline as such, I remember doing this, and you go here and bits and pieces like that. So I think that's probably hurting it a little bit. What was the other game?
I played Skyrim for about 10 minutes, and I decided as I was leaving the first village that there was a prisoner being escorted by guards. So I decided to go in and save the day and beat up the guards, which was all well and good until there was a guard on the other side of the map. Suddenly went, this is bad stuff, and just sniped me from nowhere and kept killing me, and was just like one of these like, yeah. So I was like, I'm annoyed with this. That was my entire Skyrim experience.
I also was playing one of the games for gold. Can't remember what it was. Wasn't impressed. But we will be talking about games for gold in a bit, because there's a good one coming up in August. There's a very good one. I'm waiting for that. I keep looking to see if it's out so I can download it. Speaking of Xboxes, Leon! Welcome to the pack.
Yeah. There we go.
You got a better one than me, bruv.
Yeah, mate.
Very nice.
1 terabyte.
What games?
Xbox One S. I have. Here we go. Hold on. Sunset Overdrive.
I still haven't played that.
Rare Replay. Forza Motorsport 5. Rise, Son of Rome. I also, obviously, as you saw on the box, that was Forza Horizon 3. And I've literally just picked up Halo 5 and Halo Master Chief Edition.
Nice.
So, yeah, a good selection of games. And because I already had Halo Wars on PC, I've now got it on Xbox. And I've got the Halo Wars Definitive Edition on Xbox as well. So I've already downloaded Halo Wars Definitive Edition and Halo 5. So I'm probably going to be playing some Halo 5.
Have you had a chance to play it yet? Because you only got it today, didn't you?
I've not had... I've literally... I fired it up, updated it, and I've sort of installed a couple of games. I have not even played on it yet.
I don't know what's going on with my Xbox, though. In the last... I mean, I maybe this is just the norm nowadays, but I haven't obviously played my Xbox much. Now that I'm moved in and stuff, I keep turning it on to play. I have an update every other fucking day.
Oh,
for like
really?
So I don't know if it's just doing the same fucking update over and over again and fucking up, and my external hard drive's not liking it. But it's literally every time I turn it on, it's time to update. Fuck you, it's time to update.
I had a really long update. It was like the first update from the machine today.
Well, not even that, but like I look at it and it's like it's 300 meg. I'm like 300 meg. That'd take about 7 seconds. 4 hours later, fucking 4 hours later. It's just I don't know. It's annoying. But no, we need to get some games that we can play together because I want to get on that shit. I think you need to get too.
I do want to get that game, so I will put it on the list.
On the list, and then we can share games. Can we share games still? I don't think you can anymore.
I don't think you can. I must admit, I tried with my brother just before the show, and I downloaded like Halo off his account, and I signed him out, and then signed myself in, and it said I needed to buy the game. So I just bought the game. I can get Titan. Oh no, that's PC. Okay, all right, I'll check that out in a bit. I probably will end up picking up because I do want to play that game. So we'll work that out.
But I have a little treat for myself. So I moved in. I've been getting some stuff, and then I've had loads of incentives on at work, and I've only gone and won £150 worth of Curry's PC World vouchers. What's a man to buy? But I keep looking at the website like I am shit, right? I had £200 worth of Amazon vouchers and £150 worth of that, and I've become an old man. I bought a shitty razor, and a TV stand. And I was thinking about getting a toothbrush. Like, what is going on in my life? So, the other thing that's really annoying, I didn't realise, I don't get discount there for console games, and consoles don't have discount for me.
Oh.
How fucking dare they? It's already overpriced in that fucking place as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get some stuff. I saw. You changed your mind on a game, Leon.
I did.
Little thing.
I did indeed.
Tell us.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely shat on this when I played it back in the day on PS4. I rented it from Boomerang, and it's Shadow of Mordor. Just throw this out there. I remember.
Say hello to Slap Gamer who's joined us in the chat.
Yeah. Oh
Bonjour.
yeah. Hey, Slap. I was playing it, back in the day, and I just kept dying, and I fucking sucked at that game so hard, and I just was like, you know what, fuck this game. I sent it back and was like, yeah, give me another game, Boomerang. Now, because it was on the Steam sale, really fucking cheap. I think I paid like £3 for it or something.
Cool.
Yeah, it was like bugger all, and I am absolutely fucking loving it. It is a really cool game. Like, reminds me of like Batman in some sense. It's Batman Arkham, but in fucking Mordor. Yeah, it's in Lord of the Rings universe. It's great. It's actually really good. I love the whole Nemesis system now. The fact that if you do die, things kind of get refreshed as such. Other orcs take on other orcs and like power up, and I really do love the whole system of it. And I've killed like 4 war chiefs now. And I still need to kind of do some proper mission stuff, but I keep just forgetting the missions and just
the missions.
Just
Kill
going
orcs.
around, just going around killing orcs because it is just so much fun to do so.
I agree. I concur.
But yeah, I mean, if people haven't played that game already, pick it up, play it. It's worth it. We've obviously got the new one coming out in October this year, called Shadow of War. I am actually considering that now as well. So, I mean, I'm probably going to end up waiting until it's in the cheap bin once again because I am cheap like that. But it's really fun game. Really fun game. I think we should just move over to Dave now. You've got a few more games to talk about. What's going on?
So I was going to talk about the game for gold this month is Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a reasonably oldish game now, but it's game for gold, so you can get it for free, and it is awesome because it is Telltale, who are awesome, and it's Lego, which is always amazing, and it's Pirates of the Caribbean, which is pretty cool. So all of it combined is a really, really fun game. I got an achievement in the first 5 minutes because I got eaten by a shark because I accidentally fell off the pier into the water and the shark just went "Arr!" and I'm like, oh, and then an achievement popped up and it was like, yay! But it's suitable nonsense and really fun. But on a completely different side note, I downloaded a mobile game the other day called Castle Cats. It's basically you control a guild of cats and you send them out to do various quests and stuff. And I found their Facebook page, and their Facebook page is basically they've got a whole bunch of real life cats and dressed them up as the characters in the game. There's this video of them running around, and it's just hilarious. And that was just a complete side note I just discovered.
Rude.
So I approve of stupidity like that. But the game for gold, if you've not got it yet, absolutely worth getting. I've completed stage 1 or film 1 of the Curse of the Black Gold, Black Pearl or whatever the hell it was. So I've done that. So I'm now moving on to film 2. They've got film 3 and film 4. Obviously, this game was released before film 5 came along. Interesting to see if they do an update and they sort of tuck film 5 in somehow. But the usual Lego nonsense. You play the levels as a story, and then you can go back and free play it with anyone and everybody to unlock all the hidden loot, which usually involves feeding pigs apples and shooting stuff with cannons, which is all very satisfying. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all you can say. The only thing I am slightly disappointed with is the world, sort of the link up between it with Indiana Jones. You got to run around a huge museum, which was very cool. With the Star Wars, you had the cantina, and you could go outside, and there was stuff to do outside, and there was other little side things, and it was very much sort of whole interactive world outside of the levels that you could really get into, and there were shops that you could buy stuff. With this one, it doesn't seem quite as detailed. So you have like a port, so you have the various stages up there, and you can run around a little bit and break open some boxes, but there doesn't really seem much else to do. But I'm guessing maybe once you've collected a few gold blocks and unlocked some stuff, there might be more things to do after that, but we'll see.
Well, I mean, as you're kind of on that Games for Gold vibe, obviously we're coming into a new month, August, tomorrow. So we have got some Games with Gold popping up there, which I'm actually going to be able to pick up this time, because I am now part of the Xbox crew as well as PlayStation. So I'm going to say that I think PlayStation have really fucking got it this time, but you might disagree with me. But let's go in with Games with Gold first. And we've got, some pretty cool games there, I'd say. We've got Slime Rancher to kind of sort of kick it off, which I must admit I don't really know too much about that one.
Slime Rancher is amazing.
Oh yeah?
A friend of mine has it on Steam, and he was showing me it, and it's just insane. You collect the slimes, and then you take them to your farm, and you then feed them various food, and then they poop out these other slime currency things, which you then use to trade to get more money, which then allows you to upgrade your weapon. And then you can go out and basically just wandering around the world collecting the slimes and farming them. And you have to keep them all in various different containers. And there's like a fire slime and a sort of an ice slime and various other weird and wonderful ones. And those become weirder and creepier and crazier and more dangerous as you go along. But it's one of those ones that there is danger, but not so much that you can just sort of sit back and just chill out for a day and just go around and farm your slimes and sort of kick back to whatever music is playing. But I mean, it's a relaxed sort of Sims, but just very bizarre.
That's cool. I mean, you're going to be able to pick that one up for literally the whole of August as well, between the 1st and the 31st. So if you've got that gold subscription, you can get on that. Other games that are in there, I'd say this is probably, something that a lot of people will enjoy is Trials Fusion.
Boom. Need that in my life. Never got it. And like the way I play games these days, that is the perfect kind of game for me. Just abuse 20 minutes on that game and then fuck off.
Exactly. I mean, that's going to be out from the 16th of August right up until the 15th of September. So it's not going to be available quite yet, but I'm definitely going to be picking that game up for sure. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to play.
Can you remind me when it comes out to fucking download it?
Yeah, sure.
I always forget the one that's like the halfway through the month, and then I fucking get to the end of the month and go, shit, I didn't get it, and I've missed it.
That's cool. I will make sure to give you a reminder, because I'm going to be downloading it myself, so for sure. We have got obviously a couple of Xbox 360 games as well, which I'm assuming are probably going to be backwards compatible on the Xbox One, and they are great games as well. We've got Bayonetta for one, and
Bayonetta was one of those hidden gems that when it first came out, it was universally panned. No one was like, "Oh my god, what the hell is this? It's meant to be Devil May Cry and isn't, so therefore we shall hate it."
It's Devil May Cry with boobs, man. It's
exactly, and the fact that she's naked, she uses her hair to clothe herself, which is just nuts. But it is a batshit mental game. It's really good. The controls are amazing. It's just very, very fluid. The storyline's quite fun and interesting, and it's got quite a lot of replayability as well, because you can play through normally, and then you can go back and try and get all the extra stuff as well, and just a very, very cool game.
I don't think Red Faction's that good though.
I really did enjoy that game. I actually played through the whole of that, and that was in the days. Right, this is something that doesn't exist anymore. On live, I had that. It was my free game that I got on live and played through the whole thing, and I really did enjoy it. So I must admit, I'm looking forward to having that in my collection for Games for Gold. So I've got my gold membership, so I'll be picking that up from the 16th to the 31st.
I might give it a go just to see what the fuss is about, because I remember the first Red Faction, everyone came out and was like, "Oh my god, you can blow up the environment, you can make holes in walls. This is nuts. Never seen this before in any sort of stream." And it was kind of cool to do the just sheer destruction. And then Red Faction 2 came out, and it was kind of a bit wobbly, and people didn't really rate it much. And so I never really sort of bothered with the factions one. So is it worth picking up?
I'd say so, and plus, it's going to be within your gold membership anyway. So fuck it, why not? It's a freebie. Well, I say freebie. It's not a freebie. Obviously,
my gold membership runs out halfway through this month.
Hello. Also, hello to Quazwati. Welcome to the chat.
Yep, he is in the chat there. Hello, everyone. He says so. Now, I mean,
the PlayStation ones. Leon has an Xbox One now. I have an Xbox One. Can we can we get you onto a new gen console? Possibly.
Possibly.
It's been 5 years since they came out, bruv.
If there's a cheap one knocking around somewhere,
generation now.
Well,
I will see.
Just to throw this out there, on my Xbox One, right, my Xbox One S, I bought from Game. I'm not promoting them properly.
Affiliation,
anyway, but
unless they want to free shit.
It cost me.
Xbox One.
299.99. That's a terabyte Xbox One S with the games that I said in the first instance, Halo, and obviously Halo Master Chief I bought after the fact. So that's Rise, Forza Horizon 3, Forza Motorsport 5, Sunset Overdrive, and Rare Replay. So that's 5 games and a terabyte Xbox One S for $299.99. I thought that was a really fucking good deal.
That is a good deal. If I had spare €300 lying around, I would be all over that.
No, fair enough.
What was it? I saw one the other day. A second-hand one's 120 quid. 120 quid. I think I've seen more in McDonald's before. Maybe not quite. After a heavy night out, possibly. Leon, I'm really interested to hear what PlayStation morsels have this month, because I don't get to play them, so enlighten us.
Mate, and I just for one game in particular, not That's You, I can tell you I really couldn't give a fuck about that. There is a fucking heavy hitter out there, which is Just Cause 3, which I am extremely excited about getting to play that game finally. I'm glad that I'm going to be getting it from my subscription. We're also getting an Assassin's Creed game as well, Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry, which is kind of like, it was like a standalone expansion that they kind of did for one of the games. Well, once again, another solid game, I would say. So that's 2 big uns, at once there, I'd say. I mean, because Just Cause, who doesn't like a Just Cause game, man? Just mindlessly going about absolutely destroying everything. Brilliant. I'm in.
I enjoy Just Cause 3. I'd never played them really before, and I just like going around the island and doing shit.
So is it like GTA, but not?
It's GTA with craziness and fucking grappling hooks, basically.
Okay. Is that the one where you can basically just abseil everywhere? Or, like,
it's more, to be honest, it's more Far Cry with that. Far Cry enough like an island-based sort of thing.
Yeah,
it's very,
I can go with that.
More arcadey because of the graphic, like the physics are a bit wonky. But there's a lot of level things like, is that the one where there's the big fucking casino tower?
I can't remember.
Well, I remember one of the missions is you break into a casino, which is if it's what island is that on? Is it like fucking some place? It's got some big fuck off building that's two buildings together, and it's a big casino and stuff like that. But I just remember that the mission itself was pretty sick of how you came in from the plane, broke in, you had to come out with a grappling hook and stuff like that. It was good. It's a good game. I'm not too fussed about the Assassin's Creed one. I've lost my flavour for Assassin's Creed.
Which is fair enough. I get the apathy, for that series because, they did kind of, churn one out every year. Did kind of get a bit samey. Quickly
like
before
the FIFA of killing.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Just quickly before I forget to say about this, Kozwati has followed us on Twitch. Thank you very much for that, my man. We will be hopefully podcasting every Monday. I think that day will be changing in the future, but for now, it will be every Monday evening. So join us every week, my man. And thanks for letting me know about Mike's screeching on his microphone when he shouts out a bit louder. That's good to know. Good feedback. We will work on that for the future. So no, thank you very much for the feedback. Just quickly moving into the other games that are with PlayStation Plus, which kind of are a bit lost. If it's a lot of them are kind of PS3 kind of wise. We've got Super Motherload, which is actually a great game. I recommend it highly.
Can you play them on the PlayStation?
No.
Oh, what? Now that's just not on PlayStation. That Super Motherload's good. It's a good game.
It's a great game. Great game. I've got it on my PS3 as well. I think I've got it on PC as well. So I might have to play that again sometime.
Yeah, you pretty much have it for every console that it's ever come out on. You are a big fan of that game.
I love it. Love
Did you ever
Motherload.
complete it?
Not Super Motherload. The original Motherload. Totally did. Remember Mini Clip? Or one of the others.
When
Newgrounds.
the PS4 was coming out. Remember when we were in game and there was like the various games that you could play on the PS4 and you could try out. And I believe Super Motherload was one of them. And you were kind of like, yep, that's me now. I am done.
You know what? It is out on PS4 as well. I remember it. It is out on PS4. But the thing is that apparently this, whatever, they're only offering it on PS3 for this. I'll have to look into it maybe a bit more. But from what I could see on the blog post, it was saying it was for PS3. So I'll look into that a bit more when it sort of drops in August and report back next week. Another game that they've kind of got on PS3, which is Snakeball. Must admit, no, absolutely nothing about that one, so I'm going to
maybe it involves snakes and balls.
I think you're probably right, Dave.
You had someone return the new Nokia 3310 because they weren't impressed with the snake on it. It was too modern for them.
That's amazing.
Fuck you.
And we've got a couple of PS Vita games as well, Downwell and Level 22. Downwell is actually on PS4 as well and is a cross-buy title, so I think your saves will necessarily go over between the two devices as well, which I really like that they still are doing a little bit for Vita. Not much though. It's pretty much only indie developers that are doing stuff for the Vita nowadays.
Is that handheld console kind of dead now then, the Vita?
I'd say so, because like the PlayStation Now that they're doing, their whole streaming service and everything. They've dropped support for PS Vita now. There's
going up in price as well, isn't it?
The PlayStation Plus or
Yeah.
PlayStation Plus? Yeah, that is my next bit of news. Oddly enough,
I'm a mood killer.
It's absolutely awful. That they have decided that they are it's actually in the Europe region in general, but I'll go through on UK prices here. It was $39.99 and they are increasing it to $49.99 per year, so they're putting a £10 increase on that, and they haven't really said what that increase is necessarily for. They've just kind of just put it up. A lot of people are kind of speculating that I think they kind of had hiked it up in other regions and they kind of delayed it for a little bit for Europe, but yeah, it's finally hitting. I think it's the end of August is when the prices actually do go up, but yeah, that is a 25% increase there, which I was just a bit like So what I did is that I just went and got a year now. So because you still can just before the price increase happens, and I've got that sorted now.
And if you want to be really frugal, guys, how long are you going to play this thing for? Next 3 years? Go buy 3 years. You just saved yourself $30, bruv.
Yeah, that's
Put
not
it all
a
on
bad,
there.
that's not a bad idea
Drop it
actually.
knowledge.
Now they have also increased the other kind of stages, because obviously there was the quarterly and monthly kind of things that you can kind of do. On the quarterly kind of level, it's going up by an additional £5, it makes it 19.99 for
It's expensive to do it quarterly.
It is.
How much is it monthly now?
Monthly is £6.99. So this is the interesting thing here, is that on the quarterly kind of thing, it's a really bad deal. It's the fact that they've actually increased it by 33%, where with the monthly, obviously it's only going up by £1, so that's like nearly 17% as such. So it's really odd on the way they've done that actually. So in other words, they've actually kind of like you're saving.
Don't really save anything for the court. Well, you save what, £4 for a year. But all of these ones you got to do on a year. It's like fucking EA Access is what, £20 for the year or £5 a month.
Yeah, I think it's more like $3.99 a month or something like that for Origin.
Pound everything underneath.
Yeah.
Chunks up. But yeah, you're right. I think it is $3.99. But still, even that £4, that's £48. It's more than double the price.
It is, man. I must admit, was a bit disappointed to see that price increase, because like I still don't feel that it's necessarily justified. And like the thing is that back in the day, we didn't have to pay for fucking online play for PlayStation.
It was free for so long, wasn't it? It was shit, to be fair.
You're not wrong.
I remember fucking PS3 online, and it was.
The thing is that like with most online play, I found it's down to the developers anyway, not really down to the actual PlayStation Network. So in other words, I'm like going, well, where is that cost really coming from? What, just to keep a storefront going without people are fucking buying shit anyway from it? Like, I still don't quite get the cost necessarily of it. I think we're kind of getting
the same excuse that Blizzard used recently when they did all their price changes, is because that's how the market works, and they were trying to balance it across the board because of all the different currencies. So that's why it required the price increase, even though
just
there was
retail price index, and no one batters an eyelid. Done. Yep. Retail price index. Boom. Retail price index. Boom. For those who don't know what retail price index is, the government fucking put it up. But actually, if you say that, you can only put it up by 3%. So, but yeah, it's Xbox. What's Xbox still? Same price, £40 for a year.
Yeah, no, it hasn't changed.
Price hasn't changed.
I'm gonna have to go. I know where I'm spending my fucking vouchers now. I need to go and get a fucking year's subscription to that. Too many times do I let those subscriptions run out, and then I just put them onto the monthly, and then I look at it 3 months later and go, "What the fuck am I paying that for?"
I mean, I've only picked up, like, for Xbox, like, right now, I've only got, like, 3 months at the moment. I probably will end up picking up a year. But the reason why I did that is because I wanted to stagger my memberships. Because I didn't want to have, like, my Xbox and my PlayStation in 1 month. Because that'd be £60, like, next, like, end of July. And I'll just be like, oh, fuck, man, why did I do this? So I've got 3 months, and then I'll do that.
Did I ever tell you about my mate that bought
Xbox? Pay my Xbox yearly, but I'm not subscribed to the PSN one, so perhaps I should.
You don't need to necessarily if you're on PS3.
You used to get a real big discount if you let it run out and then you call them up and put it onto a direct debit. I remember I got mine so cheap doing it but it doesn't do it anymore. But did I ever tell you about my mate that got all the points for Xbox? I think you did. Remember when it was like, I can't remember what the conversion rate was, but it was like I swear 1,000 points was £10, but it might not quite have been that. But anyway, you could buy, you could go online, you bought your points for Microsoft, but then they converted it into currency because it made much more fucking sense than the points. But he found somewhere that was selling basically like going out of business sale, and he got I can't remember what his conversion rate was, but he bought like £900 worth of fucking Xbox points for like 60 quid, and just was destroying that store. The amount of stuff he has from that one adventure was £60, and I was just like, he took a punt, man. It looked like a proper dodge. Like, I remember him sending me and a couple of the people in our group chat like the fucking this email of like confirmation, and I was like, it looked like fucking my brother drew it up in his fucking bedroom. It was so sketchy. And then literally he just came through the post, and it was all the cards like individually packed. They didn't even break them out of the fucking things. They had them in the original big packaging. So they sent him this fucking package like this big. Nuts.
Amazing.
That's cool. Well, I mean, I think that pretty much wraps up another cast for this week, guys. And unless there's anything else that you wanted to kind of jump in.
Just a heads up that the Hearthstone expansion is coming soon. So don't forget, if you really like Hearthstone and you want to get the pre-order, do it now while you still can. Other than that, no.
Doomfist is coming. Well,
Doomfist is out now, isn't it?
Out now. Yeah, I haven't played Overwatch in the last few weeks, but I played them on PTR. It's fun.
I'm looking forward to checking them out, actually. So I'll tell you what we'll do is that we'll both check them out for next week, and we'll go into in-depth on Doomfist. How about that?
Dave, Overwatch, come join us.
Yeah, I need to buy it.
I don't know. Thing is, that's not a game that's getting cheap anytime soon. It's going to stay the same.
It doesn't.
Which is a shame. But yeah,
it really doesn't go cheap, that one. But yeah, no, let's properly
Blizzard,
get into some Doomfist for next week, and we'll both have our little verdicts for it. So
shenanigans.
I'm looking forward to checking it out for sure. So we'll talk about that next week. So if you'd like to take part in the conversation, you can even post on our Facebook or facebook.com/GameOverYear.
You can tweet us using @GoVR, and you can also do what you're doing now and follow us on Twitch TV/GameOverYear. Sorry, GoVR, if you've forgotten the URL that you're currently on right now.
If you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, it's youtube.com/user/GameOverYear UK. Or as usual, I want to hear the banter. I want to get some. Send me the mail. Send us all the mail. It's contact us at gameoveryear.net.
And don't forget the most important place where you can find all these lovely links, which is our website, gameoveryear.net. Thank you for joining us, and until next time,
Game
Over Year.
Bye.